What's up, everyone? I'm Shafi and you're listening to the Who Dropped Popcorn podcast. The premise is simple. One of us picks a film that we know the others haven't seen. We all watch it, and we come here to discuss it. Joining us tonight is Andy Newlands.
Put the bunny back in the box.
Kyle Hammond.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K.
Is that it?
That was great, Carl.
I thought you were going to go all the way to Z.
No, mate, no.
Z, all the way to Z.
And all the way from the somewhat north of Jersey, Dave McHugh.
You're not going to detain a blighter for enjoying his whiskey?
Very good. Here's your warning, we'll be going into heavy spoilers. So if you haven't seen the film, we thoroughly recommend you watch it before listening to this. This episode's choice is Kyle's.
Hi.
Kyle has chosen 2021's Willy's Wonderland. Written by G.O. Parsons and directed by Kevin Lewis, the film stars Nicolas Cage as a silent wanderer who finds himself trapped in an indoor theme park filled with murderous animatronic mascots. Kyle, why did you pick the film?
Oh, I don't fucking know. I thought it looked good. It's one of those, it massively divides opinion. Is it so bad it's good? I don't know.
No,
we'll see what you guys think.
Wow, your tone there, I know what's coming from you. Wow.
Yeah, I just watched it. If you look at the poster and you see the trailer, you're like, this could be fucking amazing. So yeah, there will be someone out there that thinks it's fucking amazing. So
me.
Yeah, let's give it a go.
Okay, so Andy, how about you recap the film for us?
Hey, 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 what's that you say? It's Andy's articulate analysis.
All right, so basically, Nicolas Cage is driving this Mustang down the road, and there's something on the road, and it bursts the tires, and he's like, oh, he doesn't speak, by the way, doesn't speak throughout this whole film, but so he talks to you visually. But you can see he's like, oh no, what am I going to do? I'm in the middle of nowhere. Truck driver pulls up and says, oh, I can fix your car. Takes it to the garage. But he can only accept cash. The garage guy's like, well, look.
Andy, can I just ask you, what is inside Nick Cage's car? What's in his car?
Punch.
Yes.
Lots of cans of punch.
Right, okay, yeah.
I think. Is that the answer?
Yeah.
Cool. So anyway, so he's, gets taken to this like cowboy guy, and this cowboy guy owns what looks like a kid's amusement park. No, not park, sorry, building, and says, I'll pay your car bill if you clean this my place for me. Bang. And then in he goes. Fucking hell, it is mental. Like he basically the film is basically him drinking cans of punch, and then very like every 10-15 minutes or so, one of the animatronics in the building. So all of these things are about 5 to 6 feet tall. They look like stuffed animals. One's a squirrel-looking thing, one's a fairy, one's a gorilla, one's a turtle, I think, and all the rest of it. And they try and kill him, and one by one he picks them off. Other bits going on in this film. There's like a group of kids, and these kids like are trying to like save him. I guess they go in. I don't know. It's like Saved by the Bell on crack. It's insane.
They want to burn it down, don't they?
Yeah, they want to burn it down. So then they're all just in this mad building, and he's playing pinball, and he's drinking, and he's cleaning, and he's just a badass motherfucker. He doesn't speak at all. And there's some, there's just some. It's the same gag, and like over and over and over again. But it's like he takes on one, blah 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 blah. And then as the movie sort of gets towards the end, it turns out that it used to be owned by these group of, I think it's guys and girls, and they're basically sadistic pedophiles, I think, and I think they start abusing families and stuff, and then they get like it's obvious the police are going to find them out, so they do this like satanic ritual, and their souls, for want of a better word, go into the animatronics, and then the town folk hear about this. So they do a deal with Willy, who is this giant. Is he a ferret? I'm going to say he's a ferret, a weasel. I'm so sorry. And basically say, look, we'll feed you. And therein lies the whole, Nicolas Cage's car didn't just fucking die on the road. What seems to happen is there's always the same thing. They put like the tire spikes out, they put the stranger in, Willy and his cronies kill them, blah, 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 blah. But Nick Cage is too badass. Him, the pinball and the punch defeat the animatronics. And then it's a bit weird. Like, he turns into a paedophile at the end because he goes off with a girl in his car, which I was a bit uncomfortable with. I thought that was mental, but
there's nothing romantic going on there. There's nothing
it was just
sexual
a bit weird,
or anything like that.
No, absolutely
not yet.
Absolutely
anyway.
not. But it was just a bit weird. Like, it was just too weird for me, that bit. But that's it, really. It's I don't know. It felt like a short story, a bit like Dolan's Cadillac, but it's a film. I enjoyed it because I like just silly. It was a silly popcorn movie that I sat down and thought, this is quite funny, and laughed out loud a lot. And I hope I've done a good job there. Thank you very much.
Yeah, nailed it, man. Nailed it.
So, Kyle, when you enthusiastically told us why you chose the film, it sounds like you did not enjoy this film.
No, I didn't say that. It's one of those that there's quite a few Nicolas Cage films like this. It was okay.
Why did you choose it then? Had you seen it?
I've seen it. Yeah, I'd seen it.
But this is so weird. Yeah,
you chose Blood Simple, mate.
Yeah,
yeah, because I love Blood Simple. Carl's already seen it, and now he's saying he doesn't like it. So why did you choose it?
No, I never said I didn't like it. I said it's so bad it's good.
Right.
But I don't think it is. I think it's just good. I love it.
Look at the teenagers. Yes. This is some of the worst acting you've ever fucking seen.
But
awful.
Yeah, but that was kind of the point, I thought. It was just, they were kind of a bit cliched, weren't they? It was like a stereotype. And I liked it. It was just ridiculous from start to finish.
Yeah. A silly film for silly people.
Anyway, so going outside of the realms of this film, what are there any other, the genre that this falls in is, the subgenre is creature features. So is there any other sort of creature features you're particularly fond of? Should we start with you, Andy?
Oh God, does Chucky count?
I think in the context of this film it does, because it's quite a similar plot, etc.
Okay.
So,
I was going to say
Chucky. What about
Chucky.
that film, the Pet Shop film, with the big the guy from Ghostbusters?
So you're talking about Little Shop of Horrors?
Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah, does that count?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah,
all right, what about Jumanji, the original? Does that count?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, there's 3 right there.
How about you, Dave? What about your favourite creature features?
Does Jaws count?
I guess.
No, I guess not. No, it has to
I mean,
be
mythical.
What about
creatures.
Gremlins? Does Gremlins count? Because that was amazing.
See, I never particularly liked Gremlins, unfortunately.
You never liked Gremlins?
No,
wow.
I never really.
What the fuck,
man? You know what? I'm going to give it with a hot, spicy take for the podcast. I think Gremlins is better than Ghostbusters.
Yeah, so do I, mate. So do I.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gremlins was unbelievable.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm going to watch it tonight. I'm giving it another go.
But
wow.
It's brilliant. I think. What about you, Carl? You kind of gone quiet. I know you're a big Ghostbusters fan.
So depressed by his choice.
I can't remember. I can remember Gremlins 2, which is not great, but I don't remember Gremlins 1 that well.
Gremlins 2 is great as well.
Creature features that I love. Yeah, Child's Play 1, 2, 3. Even like The Bride of Chucky, I quite liked. But I've not seen any since then, so I've not seen the reboot or the TV show in that. But again, I've not seen them for 25 years. I'm sure they're awful, but.
Yeah, those are films that I need to revisit as well, because I just remember as a kid just not being that scared about it. But then I don't think that's like an unfair gauge of judging a horror film, whether, you're scared or not.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Because, there are some like really good horror films that haven't really scared me, but I still think they're like really good horror films. So, so that is, so Child's Play, interesting. All right, nice one. Cool. All right. So, I don't know what else we can say about this film.
Well, let's talk about what we liked, what we didn't like. I've got a load of different notes.
Is that it? The podcast is 18 minutes.
Can we talk about what? There's loads to talk about.
The Grand Prix final.
There's loads to talk about. Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with Dave. I'm with Dave.
There's literally so much to talk about.
Okay, so Dave, what is your favourite part of this film? Then?
Yes, and then come to me.
Do you have a favourite kill in the film?
Oh, nice shout. Yeah, I quite liked when the crocodile sort of bit that guy. That was quite funny. That was pretty nuts. That's the way to go, though, having sex, Can't get the coffin lid down. But, it's a good way to go. But I like that crocodile kill. I really like that.
And how about you, Andy?
I thought the gorilla in the toilet was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's my favourite bit.
I cannot tell you how much I laughed at that. It was just like when he got the plunger and was putting it in his face, it was brilliant. Like, absolutely brilliant. Like, I loved it.
You know, something I was kind of observing while watching the film is that Nicolas Cage isn't very good at cleaning. You know,
No.
did you notice like how, you know, what I always find is when I watch people mop and they don't know how to mop, like you put the mop in the bucket, but you don't just slop it on the floor. When you land, you need to twist the broom handle, and then basically it maximizes the surface area of the mop. And then you need to maximize the surface area of the mop.
What are you doing being head of Jersey Finance?
Absolutely right.
Why are you head of Jersey Tax when you could be a cleaner?
I used to mop the restaurant, and this is
No, you're absolutely right.
I remember Dad used to give me lectures about how to mop properly. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, you're supposed to spin. You spin. You put the mop in. You take it out. You spin. The mop lands on the floor, and then you do your wet mop, and then you basically rinse it, and then you do your dry mop. Where basically, I mean, if I was there, I would be like, Nicolas Cage, what the fuck are you doing? This is just a really bad technique of mopping this theme park.
Was your dad like your Mr. Miyagi then? He taught you how to fight, basically.
Yeah, if Mr. Miyagi swore at you and called you a loser every 5 minutes, then
It's like the guy in Quantum Solace who was doing the sweeping at the harbour. I don't know if you've seen that, but like when he's at the harbour, the guy's sweeping and he's a half a foot off the floor.
Have you seen that, Kyle?
Fucking mental.
It's like a meme. Yeah, I was just watching it thinking, looks like Nicolas Cage is, I mean, no wonder he's got into the business through nepotism, because he does not look like he's cleaned a day in his life.
Yeah.
So even when he's wiping down, he's like bunching the cloth in like one bunch. It's like, no, you're supposed to maximize the surface area of the cloth.
That's what my problem was with Blood Simple when that guy was cleaning the floor with the blood. It was like, you don't clean blood like that. Fucking hell, honestly.
So why did he continue to clean the place, do you think? What was that about?
I've got a theory.
Go on then.
Okay, let's see your theory.
Right, so I think he's autistic, okay? So, one, he's a mute. He likes routine. I think someone just said to him, do this. He's like, I've got to do it. And there's nothing stopping him. And he only kills when he has to, didn't he? And then when he's done that, he goes back to cleaning. Even when they've all attacked him, it's just Willy left at the end. He's still cleaning. Ex-soldier, isn't he? Because he's got his dog tags hanging in the car. So he might have, post-traumatic stress. So
what do you think the timer and the drinks have got to do with it? Is he diabetic?
No, the guys, well, that's another theory I've got, which I can go into later.
Nah, he was just allowed breaks, wasn't he? So he was just...
Make sure you have breaks.
See, I thought it to the breaks.
So I thought he might have gone in deliberately and sort of knew about it and has gone in deliberately and, drove over the spikes deliberately.
Holy shit.
to get into the place. But then it's weird, isn't it? Like, why would you be cleaning?
Because he would have started destroying the toys straight away then.
Yeah, but he loves it, though, doesn't he?
Not necessarily.
Some men just want to see the world burn.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I agree with that theory, to be honest.
Well, okay, so how is he so strong? How is he able to kill these things when they've ripped everyone else apart?
Because of the punch.
The military background that Kyle said.
Yeah.
He knows how to kill.
It's the punch drink as well. But the girl fucks one up, didn't she?
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of weird. It's one of a classic horror film thing is their strength is sort of in ratio to the person they're attacking and stuff. And it's like, I thought they had supernatural powers, so I just don't get how he can kill them. I thought he might be an angel. And that drink is
wrong Nicolas Cage film, mate.
Exactly.
I think he's an angel.
City of Angels Part 2.
Yeah. Okay, so because Kyle's brought up another Nicolas Cage film, let's talk about our favourite, two things. Either basically your favourite Nicolas Cage film and also your favourite Nicolas Cage performance.
This is going to be the bulk of the podcast.
Kyle, so what is your favourite Nicolas Cage performance?
I don't know.
Oh, that's it. Dave, you?
There you go. It's well done. I know, it's rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah, Leaving Las Vegas,
let's
maybe?
up the energy, guys. Come on.
Leaving Las Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah, and that might be my favourite film or Face Off. Probably Face Off.
So when did you watch Leaving Las Vegas?
What, last? Or
When did you first
time?
watch it?
96, 7?
Oh, really? So that was
Yeah.
like when it was first came out.
Well, it first would have been on Sky Movies, yeah.
And what is it about that performance like?
I don't know. I'm just a dumb guy that watches.
Fucking hell.
This is
See, I know, this is
podcast
like
I've
the
ever
worst.
listened to.
I know,
and
this
I
is
mean it. Like,
the...
Put words in my
should
mouth,
we all come back
Shafi.
tomorrow where we give a shit? This is outrageous. Fucking hell. I've been well looking forward to this.
That's a bit highbrow, though, isn't it? Saying, "Oh, what's his best performance?"
Okay, right.
This is the guy that said that the worms look like buttholes in Dune. Yeah, actually, it's colonialism.
So how about you, Andy? What do you like about Nicolas Cage?
Right, I'll tell you what, I like the way Nicolas Cage is a fucking pure goddamn original. Like, going on that Terry Wogan interview about 25 years ago, like, coked up to the max is insane. Like, if you've ever seen him interviewed as well, he's fucking mental. He spends all his money on crazy. He had a room in his house with, like, cobras and stuff, and he used to wear a red suit and sit and talk to the cobras like fucking Voldemort from Harry Potter. The guy is a legend. Like, and like, don't get me wrong, I know some of these movies that I'm about to say aren't good, but these are classic Sunday afternoon with the family movies that everybody likes, from kids all the like grannies. Like, the National Treasure movies are an absolute pile of shit if you read the script, but when they're on the telly, they're just enjoyable nonsense. You can be on your phone, you can be doing chores, you can be doing the ironing, have them on in the background. It's just fun. And then the big hit is, like, if anybody says these three films they haven't enjoyed, then they are dead inside, all right? Number one, The Rock. Number two, Face Off. And number three, Con Air. If you haven't enjoyed those movies,
The Holy Trinity,
then you're a fucking... you're up your ass. You're up your own ass.
So now you brought this up, I want you three to tell us your rankings of those three films.
Nice.
I'll go first. I know mine.
Okay, go on. What's yours?
Third is The Rock. Second is Con Air. First is Face Off.
How about you, Andy?
Okay, so third it will always be The Rock. And if anybody on the planet puts that anywhere other than third, they're an idiot. Face Off and Con Air, I kid you not, that is a harder question to answer than how did the universe come into creation? What is God?
The Big Bang, mate.
Yeah, but honestly, oh, God almighty, I'm going to have to go Con Air for number one and Face Off at two. But ask me tomorrow, and I'll give you a different answer.
Okay, and how about you, Dave?
I go Rock, Con Air, Face Off. That's how I roll.
Shafi, you're not getting out of this one.
Well, I like Bad Lieutenant, Lord of War, and The Wicker Man. Yeah.
Oh, nobody likes The Wicker Man.
I like The Wicker Man.
Well, a lot of people like it, ironically, don't they?
Have you seen the original, Andy?
Yeah, you made me watch it.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted Shafi there, and I must
No, it's okay.
apologise.
Bad Lieutenant is amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible.
But Bad Lieutenant's one of my favourite films, like, of the past, like, is it post 2010? I think it is, isn't it?
2011, I think it was,
yeah. So it's probably one of my favourite films between 2010 and 2020.
It didn't need to be called The Bad Lieutenant. It's far away. It didn't even need to be called The Bad Lieutenant.
What was the other film that Andy you mentioned?
Lord of War. I love that film.
Lord of War. That is fantastic. When that
film,
gangster rocks up with that golden AK-47 or whatever it is, that's... It always reminds me of you, Dave, that. You do.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
How about you, Dave? What about your favourite Nicolas Cage films?
Please say The Family Man, because that's so good.
Favourite films? Okay, yes, so not favourite. Okay, well, brilliant. I just couldn't choose. So, for me, Raising Arizona, Wild at Heart. I absolutely love Wild at Heart. Who here hasn't seen Wild at Heart?
Me.
That's amazing. Never heard of Wild at Heart? Oh my God.
No, neither have I.
Wow. Absolutely adore Leaving Las Vegas.
If you're a fan of Nicolas Cage, you're gonna really like Wild at Heart.
Because it's a really unique performance. I haven't really seen him in that style before. Yeah, and obviously the Holy Trinity of action is awesome. I absolutely adore Bringing Out the Dead. That is such a good film.
Bringing Out the Dead, mate.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that film is so fucking good.
Yeah, it's insane. It's Scorsese and it just creates this hellish environment. It's incredible.
You know what? I wouldn't hesitate to put that in top 5 Scorsese.
Wow, that's ballsy. I love it. So Matchstick Men is quite a nice film, and it's a sort of remake of Nine Queens, which is incredible. Watch Nine Queens.
It's not a remake of Nine Queens.
Yeah, it is. Well, it is.
No, Criminal was a remake of Nine Queens with John C. Reilly.
Yeah, okay, but still, it's as good as. Okay, it's not a remake necessarily, but it's very similar. Yeah, I actually really like The Weatherman as well. That is a good film. It sort of shows how melancholy life can be even if you're rich. That's a great film. I absolutely love Kick-Ass.
Kick-Ass, mate. Awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
When he's dying, when he's on fire.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Now switch to Kryptonite!
I'm surprised no one did that as their favourite nickname.
I was thinking about it.
Switch the gauge to Kryptonite!
Yeah, so he's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant in so many films. So my favourite performance would be Bad Lieutenant, obviously. I'm not just...
I need to watch that again. I'm not...
It's so good.
You text me years ago saying, watch this, of like, when did this come out? It's fucking so good.
It's just so crazy. It's just so good.
Do you remember 8mm?
I'm so mean. Can we not talk about 8mm? Because I haven't seen it. And
really?
I'll watch it and we'll talk about it one other time. I'm so sorry.
It's fucking...
I thought you'd seen 8mm.
No, I've got it on DVD, but I just haven't got around to watching it yet.
Weren't you talking about it the other day?
Nah, man. I was talking about people's acting whilst watching snuff films. That's what I was talking about. These are the conversations that Dave
instigates, and I just sort of.
It's a hard. Imagine that if someone asks you to act like you're watching a snuff film with someone you know in it. It's a hard thing to act because they're like kind of It's just a really hard way to act.
You're like editing this episode.
Dave, I remember I showed you that clip from the film Hardcore, starring George C. Scott.
No.
Turn it off!
Oh, yeah.
Turn it off!
Yeah, it's a hard acting class, that one.
He bought a house in Bath, didn't he?
He's got quite a lot in England, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Did I tell you about when I met his cousin?
What?
Yeah, what? Someone that claimed to be Nicolas Cage's cousin, so...
Was this some nutter that you met in Sheffield?
Well, it was in Nottingham.
Was it Schofield?
I was in a restaurant in Nottingham and I was in the bar bit waiting for the table. There's like 6 of us, like all couples, and we'd not seen each other for a long time. And this random guy just came over and started talking to us on his own. So he'd obviously just seen a group of people and thought, oh, this is someone that I can hang out with for the night. But we were waiting for a table. It's like, no, your audience, man. It just started chatting shit. We're like, oh, who is this fucking guy? Go away, man. You know. And then he just dropped. He goes, oh, yeah. We were talking about, I can't remember. We were talking about films or something. He goes, yeah, my cousin's in films. Nicholas Coppola. But you know him as Nicolas Cage. We're like, oh. I'm like, this guy's off his head.
He would have been coked up.
Okay, so then what happened?
Well, we just like, could you go, mate? Because we're going for a table.
Oh, that's so mean. I would be like, sit down.
No, man.
Why didn't you ask him for evidence?
Yeah.
Well, then I googled it later. It's like Nicolas Cage, cousin Nottingham, and I couldn't find anything. So it was either Nicolas Cage's cousin or he's a nutter. So
what is this story? Some drunk bloke came up to you and said he was Nicolas Cage's cousin.
Wasn't drunk. No, he wasn't drunk. Wasn't drunk at all. No, this was like 6 o'clock.
He wasn't drunk, Andy, you idiot. Fucking hell, I didn't say he was drunk.
Fucking hell. Hilariness.
But you know when you're like with your friends and then someone just tries to join in your group,
it's
you're like,
a nightmare.
Go away, man.
It's a nightmare.
I love it. Embrace it.
So do you know why he changed his name to Nicolas Cage?
Did he want to make his own way, I assume, or...
Yeah, but why did he choose that name?
I don't know, man.
Because he was a big fan of Luke Cage. That was his favourite.
See, this is what I mean. What a fucking legend.
So that's why. And the role that he most wants to play is Captain Nemo, head of the Nautilus in the book 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. That role has just been cast in a Disney Plus TV show.
Wow.
Do you know who plays him? Do you know who landed the role? No. I don't think you guys probably don't. Do you watch Toast to London? I don't think you do you?
No.
No one watches Toast to London. All right, well then.
What's that guy called?
Matt Berry. Is it Matt Berry?
Yeah, Matt Berry's not playing Captain Nemo. if those listeners that are a fan of Toast London, it's Clem Fandango who's going to be playing. No, not Clem Fandango. Yes, Clem Fandango. He's playing.
Who the fuck is Clem Fandango?
Oh my god, you got to watch Toast London.
Scaramouche.
Is he the guy from Mighty Boosh?
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. But
there is a guy from Mighty Boosh in Toast London.
It's been in my Netflix clue for ages, man.
Great. Okay, cool. So what about you, Andy? Favourite performances?
Yeah, so there is only one. It is. I know I didn't put the film up there, but it's Face Off.
Legend.
Face Off.
Yeah.
I can't.
Mate, when he's the vicar at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, that's why I can't.
The face he pulls when he grabs her hand is just so good.
See, Lord of War is cool and National Treasure is still cool. It was silly fun. But honestly, it is amazing what he does. And fair play to Travolta as well, actually. Right.
Yeah, true.
Both of them,
so is for everyone, do you think Nicolas Cage has the better performance in Face Off?
100%. He's the better villain and the better protagonist, isn't he? So
he's superb.
He's sort of the main character though, so it's a bit unfair on John, I feel.
I kind of feel like without Nicolas Cage, John Travolta wouldn't have had that performance.
What do you mean?
As in, he's the way, when he
feeds off him.
Yeah, when he ends up, when he does end
100%.
up being the character of Castor Troy, the villain,
100%.
he's sort of doing it. He's trying to mimic the energy of Nicolas Cage. Yeah. So I don't think he would have come up with that type of performance if Nicolas Cage wasn't cast in that role.
I wish I'd seen Nicolas Cage as Superman with Tim Burton. That would have been the biggest movie flop of all time.
Imagine that being Schwarzenegger and Stallone. Imagine Face Off with those two. That'd have been just so weird.
Was that on the table?
Yeah, apparently so.
No way.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was like a foot taller. It was mad.
Jesus, that's mental.
Who would you like to cast in a modern day Face Off?
Oh my god, that's the best question I've ever been asked.
It would probably be one of the two of the four Chris's, I assume.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's just do it.
So which two would you select, Kyle?
I think Evans and Pine are probably the most similar.
Not a bad shout.
As in, they look physically closer to each other.
And then Hemsworth and Pratt are more the comedy guys, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, you say that, but Hemsworth, he can do comedy, but he can quite do the straight roles as well, can't he?
Yeah.
He Black Hat, and I guess that Extraction film that was out last year, wasn't it?
They're filming number 2 now, aren't they?
I would go Matt Damon.
Of course you would.
And Mark Wahlberg. That's who I'd do, mate.
Matt Damon and Mark
Wahlberg.
Yeah,
that's a great
Or
shout.
Gerald Butler and Clive Owen. Or Liam Neeson and Ralph Fiennes. Any of those.
Well, I'm just wondering what you're reading on.
Thanks, BuzzFeed.
Yeah, exactly.
Actors who look alike.
Well, that means Tom Hardy and Logan Marshall Green.
Yeah. Well, they might do all female and do Jamie Presley and Margot Robbie.
Oh yeah.
Natalie Portman and Keira Knightley. Make it a female version.
Yeah. I mean, admittedly, their faces don't have to look the same. It's more their height and body is actually the thing, really, considering the name of the film.
So what are you saying? Sacha Baron Cohen and...
Yeah, it's all about just being the same build.
Kevin
It's
Hart.
not about the same face, because they actually change faces. So they could look completely different. And it's not like, it's not like Nick Cage looks like fucking John Travolta, is it? So
Susan Sarandon and Sigourney
Travolta was a bit fat, wasn't he? And then
Yeah,
Nick Cage was like
they do
skinny.
that. So why are you choosing
Heath
actors
Ledger
that
and
look alike?
Joseph Gordon-Levitt is unbelievable.
It's a bit tough to do that now, mate.
Yeah. Sorry.
But it would have been a good idea. Jesus. I'm going to go with two actors that don't look
Shafi,
alike.
who is it then? Tell us who it should be.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Compared to this one, you never fucking heard of.
The thing is that I'm fed up with you, with me asking.
That guy from Jalakatu.
I'm fed up with me asking questions and then Carl like looking annoyed that he has to ask me. I don't give a shit. You don't have to fucking ask me, okay? It's fine.
The moderator's lost it. The moderator has lost it.
I reckon Shafi.
This is the end of the podcast. It's done.
Shah Khan and Alam Carr. That would be who I'd go
Who?
with. What?
Who's the first name?
Shah Khan and
Who's
Salman
Shah Khan?
What, from Jungle Book?
No,
You mean the Scoutmaster, the head of the club?
No, you know Shah Khan, like the famous Bollywood actor, and then go with
Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's his middle name, isn't it?
Shah Rukh Khan. No one calls him Shah Khan.
I would.
Shah Rukh Khan. Shah Rukh Khan. I know. You talking about Chaka Khan?
He missed the trick there.
Khan and Alan Carr. Jimmy Carr and Alan Carr.
Now you're talking.
We should do in Facebook, yeah.
John Candy and Chris Farley. How about that?
Shit, now you're talking.
Yeah. What else can you say about this film?
This was heavily inspired by a video game called Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh.
And in that game, you play someone that works at night in a closed restaurant, and animatronics try and kill you.
Holy shit.
It's basically the fucking same. If you go on YouTube and just look at Five Nights at Freddy's, there's people playing it. But there's other like video game comparisons of this as well. Did you notice the text at the beginning where it's listing the actors and stuff was really 8-bit? And then I see that his energy drinks they're like his power-ups, aren't they?
Holy fuck, Carl, you're a legend.
That's what I was saying, because of the fact that he drinks them so much and at such frequency and stuff. It does feel like he's getting his strength from the punch drink, doesn't it?
That's my point. I thought it was sort of like a medical thing, like he has to have an amount of sugar. That's what, the diabetes. Yeah, people with diabetes, they have to have a certain thing.
I just kept remembering you. I know we've spoken about it before, but nicking that guy's pinball thing. Like that's all I was thinking about during this film. Was you getting followed by a comic book guy?
Let's not go into that, mate. Let's not go into that.
But also, because he's silent as well, he's very much like a first-person shooter, or like Claude from GTA 3.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of GTA 3.
Doesn't fucking talk at all. Yeah.
So what do you think was the thing that attracted Nicolas Cage to the role, considering he took up producing duties as well?
Easy to learn the script.
He proper Bruce Willis did, didn't he? Let's just get as much money for doing as little as humanly possible.
but no, come on. This is like a small budget. Like, he wouldn't. It's not like this film. Everything about it had like huge box office hit.
Is he in money problems? Like, does he have proper money problems?
Yeah, he had tax problems, didn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think if you look at 2018, 2019, he did 6 films.
Yeah, it's mad.
Each year. 6 films a year.
So let me ask you guys a question then. Can you name a bad Nicolas Cage performance?
Oh, good. Yeah, that's a really good question.
Because I've got one in my mind.
I presume that
Ghost Rider. No, well, he's good in those films though.
Is he? Okay. I haven't seen it, so I can't comment.
What's Drive Angry like? What's his performance like in that?
I haven't seen that one.
No one did they?
See,
a lot of this modern stuff I've not seen at all.
I was lucky enough to watch Vampire's Kiss a few months ago, and that was brilliant. He was brilliant in that. Fucking hell.
Dave, have you seen a film called Knowing?
Yeah.
Now, for me, that's a bad Nicolas Cage performance, because, that film was boring AF. Apologies to the listeners who are fond of that film.
I've never heard Shafi slag off a film before. It must be bad.
I know, but I remember just thinking, I'm so bored.
Wow.
And Nicolas Cage is really half asleep.
Yeah, that is a crap film. The concept's quite interesting, but the film itself is rubbish.
Yeah, that film is poo-poo. It sucks balls.
What is he, like a physics teacher or something like that? Physics professor or something?
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people say that, no matter what, Nicolas Cage is the best thing in every film that he turns up in, but not really. There are some films you can't really say. So, but yeah, and I know a lot of people that have a problem with that Leaving Las Vegas performance as well.
What, his Oscar-winning performance? Literally Oscar-winning performance.
Yeah, some people aren't really on board with that, but it is quite unique, isn't it? It's a way to play a drunk, isn't it?
He certainly looks the part, doesn't he? He just looks fucking fucked all the time. It's mad.
Yeah.
But more than when you see him when he's the morning after and stuff, it's just like, wow, get out.
Yeah.
Mad, man. Yeah, I absolutely love that film. Absolutely love that film.
When he wakes up in the middle of the night and he's like,
yeah, man.
Just shaking. He's like,
yeah.
He just next a bottle of vodka, doesn't he? Yeah.
That was fucking mad.
I find with Nicolas Cage films, though, you can kind of generally gauge with the modern ones, like who he's with. Because a lot of the times it's him and a load of nobodies, like this film. Other than the sheriff lady, I don't think I'd seen anyone else in this film.
Who was she? Because I recognise her.
She always plays the same uptight kind of character.
Yeah, doesn't she?
She's in Donnie Darko.
Yes, Donnie Darko.
And she's played the same role on quite a lot of things.
She's in a great film called Faults, which I saw a couple of months ago.
Well, I feel like Willy's Wonderland has killed the energy for the love of film on this podcast, so I'm looking forward to hearing what the next one is.
I really like the film.
So do I.
I think Nicolas Cage read the script and went, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I think this is great.
Sit down on your own, open a can of beer and watch this film, because it's just nice to put your feet up to it. It's nonsense, but it doesn't matter. Like,
I know, 1 hour and 24 minutes or something.
It's a cheap thrill. And there are some funny bits.
It's just fun. Yeah.
I thought the soundtrack was great.
I think the story's great. I love the story, like the background story of how it's come to be, and like I just love it. And like the way it's sort of haunted, and you can't destroy it. And I love all that sort of backwards town as a secret. It's kind of cliche, but I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, no, I really, really enjoyed this film.
God, you can actually hear the silence from Shafi and Kyle. You can actually hear it.
No, I told you, it's so bad. I did like it, but it's bad.
Which character did you find most killable?
Ooh, interesting.
Big tit Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I didn't like Willy, mate. I thought Willy was a cunt.
Yeah. Yeah, he was massive, wasn't he?
Mm.
Well, Shafi, what was your opinion of this film?
I mean, it's the same, really. It felt sort of disposable. Quite forgettable.
I'll say that, yeah.
Quite forgettable, but it was, it's a film, and it. I mean, it's not bad by any means. I think it's one of those films that does what it says in the tin, right? They made exactly the film that they wanted to make. It's a good idea in the fact that those creatures, they're sort of allowed to look cheap because of it's a good idea because they just think, well, we can just make. We don't have them having like moving like muscles in their faces or anything like that. This is actually just we can just dress these people up as like mascots, and so it is like extremely budget in that way. I wonder how much it cost. Do you know what the budget was?
I guess that without Nicolas Cage and without the song Freebird at the end, it would have been like 50p. The 15 production companies that were listed at the beginning would have split that 50p between them.
I'm pretty sure that Nicolas Cage's fee wouldn't have been that high. I'm sure he must have got a back end deal because he's on board as a producer.
Yeah.
It's your birthday, and we want you to have fun. That alone is quality.
But the budget was 5.5 million.
Nothing, is it?
I was going to say 5,
and it's made a loss.
Oh wow!
You're joking.
Fuck off.
The gross worldwide. Get a case to take guesses on what the gross worldwide gross is.
3.6.
Less than $1 million. It's COVID, wasn't it? It came out during COVID.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
3.6.
3.6 million. You think?
Yeah.
How about you, Kyle?
Did it even go to cinemas? Did it just go straight to streaming, or?
No. I think it went straight to streaming, didn't it?
It came out in February this year, so we were still in lockdown then, weren't we?
Yeah. So what do you think, Kyle?
Less than $1 million.
How much less than $1 million?
I reckon, 900,000?
How about you, Dave?
Well, I fucking gave them $7.99 today, so I'm going to say... Well, I reckon it made £956,478.
So it's gross worldwide, as it says here. I might be wrong, but it's 445,000.
Wow.
Fucking hell. What the fuck? You're
no sequel then.
5.5 million. I reckon they could have. What the hell gave them that budget of 5.5 million? Like, Jesus, they could have. I mean, we could film that in Fort Regent.
Yeah, I know, it's mad, isn't it?
I'm sure there are some costumes that look just like that if we kind of went into a cupboard or something.
I mean, the effects are pretty good, I think. I know that it looks cheap, but it does look quite realistic at the same time, as weird as that may sound. I did feel like these things had come alive. I was like, whoa, that's nuts.
Yeah, 100%.
So, Screen Media, Chicken Soup for the Soul Entertainment Company, which is like the worst name ever, are massively out of pocket.
Please watch this film and support Nicolas Cage. Yeah. Please, we've got to get above $1 million for him.
Well, I think he's still doing all right. I mean, so next year, I showed you guys a trailer, as in I put a link to the trailer, but I'm not sure who actually watched it, but he's actually going to be playing himself.
That looks quality, man.
I cannot wait for that. It looks brilliant, doesn't it?
What's it called? It's
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
Oh, God. Yeah.
He's playing a vampire again, isn't he? He's playing Dracula.
He's going to play Dracula. That's right. He is going to be playing Dracula.
Is he? Do you think he'll go full on Nosferatu for that, like he did with Bad Lieutenant?
Right, nice. Okay, is there anything else about this film that anyone wants to say?
It's your birthday, and we want you to have fun.
No, it's a disposable movie, but it's well worth a watch.
What was the pinball machine? What's the deal with the pinball machine? Did he just enjoy
Willy's
playing?
Wonderland.
Yeah, it's just retro gaming.
What was it? But why the pinball machine? Why, when there's so much to play? Why was it always
Actually, that scene's
machine?
quality when they're doing the Willy's Wonderland, a proper 80s song, and he's just there like jiving, like
this is the thing. There's so many cool things in it. Like,
that was the highlight of the film.
Quality. Yeah,
even the bit where they killed themselves and stuff, and the satanic thing, that was quality.
Yeah, I just love the background stories because you got it in 2 segments, didn't you?
Yeah,
and it's so interesting. It's like, that's how you can't burn it down and stuff, and like the kind of builder was found dead and stuff. But I do find it a bit weird because they're supernatural. So did running them over work?
Well, their bodies were just left in a dumpster outside, and if you notice, I don't know what the fairy was called, the siren or whatever. When the car blew
Siren
up,
Sarah,
when the car blew up, she was propelled away from the car. So my take on that is she's still kicking around. I know they ran over fucking whatever, the Taco Bell turtle on the way out. But the fairy one could easily
that subtitle, I'm my balls.
Exactly. There were some classics in this movie.
It's great. I love that car as well. Fucking hell, that car is amazing.
I'll tell you what though, that car, I wish he would have gone for the old one, the classic, rather than the new one. But
here we go.
Oh, fucking hell. Whatever.
Remember how good Ford versus Ferrari was?
I'm sorry to all the men out there listening.
And when women do drive cars as well.
Yeah, that's true. Well, excuse me, Andrew.
Right. So I think now it's time for the one-word review then.
It's the one-word review. The one-word review. One-word review from us to you.
Except for Dave, who says, "Oh, so beautiful. It's just beautiful."
Andy, what's your one-word review?
Biodegradable.
To be honest, it won't beat karate. But
yeah, I actually laughed out loud at my dad.
Kyle, what's your one-word review?
Good game.
And Dave, what is your one-word review?
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
What about you, Chef?
Witchy.
Yeah. That's my one-word review. Witchy.
Oi, give us a one-word review.
My one-word review is Willy. So
Fucking hell.
This show is so highbrow.
Yeah, I know.
Shafi just got his dick out, viewers, by the way.
Shafi's got his dick out.
Now,
congratulations, we didn't talk about jizz once.
Did anyone find the Pixie animatronic quite attractive?
Oh my god!
I mean, I didn't. I just wondered if you guys did.
I've got a really interesting film for you guys to watch. It's called Willy's Wonderland.
Is this just some ploy?
How did you find the film? How did you find the film?
Some elaborate.
How did you find the film, Kyle? Oh, I was just Googling it.
I love that scene where I got my knob out.
Yeah, if I'd been locked in there for ages, Carl, I'm kind of with you there. I think
anyone
after a
wank
while,
off to the gorilla?
She'll do.
What are you talking about? Of course we didn't fancy the animatronic Pixie.
Did anyone find the taco?
Neither did Kyle. Neither did Kyle. He was just asking if we did. So don't worry.
Asking for a friend.
Fucking hell.
It's not even my dream. It's a friend's dream.
Fucking hell. That took an hour and a half to get to the jokes.
I know, tell me about it. We have a special announcement to make. So we will have, for our next episode, we're going to have a special guest. Now, this person we've mentioned a few times before on our podcast, he is basically the 5th member of our group who we initially asked for him to be in this podcast, but he just had a a child.
And he's too busy just like being the crime underlord of Singapore.
Singapore. So basically, he is actually going to be guesting on our next episode. And what we found is that what we decided that if we do have a guest, it's their choice to pick their own film. So without further ado, Mark has left a message for us. And
really?
So introducing for our next episode, Mark O'Hanlon.
Buongiorno, boys. My film selection as part of my special guest appearance on the Who Dropped the Popcorn podcast, without further ado, drumroll please, is The Sound of Metal.
Right, so as you have all heard, he has picked 2020's Sound of Metal. That's a film that I'm very excited about talking about. So, right, because this is probably the last show that's going to go out in 2021.
Ever, because Carl's ruined it by choosing a film that he didn't like. Because that's the first, actually, for the podcast, is for the person that chose it to go, actually, I didn't like it.
No.
Kyle's done that practically every film he's chosen.
No, I love mid-90s. So Doom was okay.
Isn't mid-90s good?
Andy hated Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Dave thinks every film was beautiful.
Oh, it's so lovely. It just takes your worries away. Fuck off, mate.
Well, whatever. Fucking Ford versus Ferrari and just added to my worries.
Yeah. All right. Listen, order. Can you come on? Because we're given lots for Kyle to edit out.
Whatever, bad end.
Don't worry about it. It's all staying in, mate. Andy's F-bomb staying in. It's good.
Listen, so because this is going to be the last episode we're going to upload for 2021, I thought it'd be a good opportunity for us to just sort of reflect on the podcast so far. I think one thing is that I just want to say that I'm happy that we've got this far with the podcast anyway. You know, no one's given up yet.
Sorry, Dave did for about half an hour.
Yeah, it's because you're all well mean to me. All three of you are really bullying me. I was supposed to say fuck it then. You all individually DM'd me and got me back there. It was nice.
You often tease those you love.
What a fucking attention-seeking whore you are. Okay, so anyway, I mean, the thing is that what happened when we came up with the rules of the podcast.
I don't think I've ever been called an attention-seeking whore before, but it does kind of fit. Thank you. That's a good design.
Yeah, says the attention-seeking whore who keeps interrupting me. So when Carl first came up with the rules of the podcast, he actually said that at the end of every round, we end up picking our favourite film of the round.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That was a good idea.
Yeah,
and I said that's not a good idea because I think these films.
Whatever I say, Shafi's like, no, I don't want to do that.
I know. Such a dictator. It's unbelievable.
So the reason why is because I said that because it shouldn't feel like competition. It's just basically we should just basically react to these films that are kind of in front of us. So anyway, but for this one time only, let's talk about kind of the films that we've been happily exposed to. So Andy, what out of all the films that you've seen as part of this podcast, what would you say are the highlights?
Can we not choose our own film then?
Not your own film. So
what?
And you can mention more than one film.
Okay, all right. So I can't remember all of the films that we've watched, but the ones that spring to mind. So Jalaka 2. I'm so glad I saw that movie. The Wailing, mid-90s. I thought that was phenomenal. Buckaroo Banzai. I just love the fact that I watched that film and the ending of it. Yeah, I think those are my four big hitters. But Shafi, what were the films you chose? Because I've always liked.
So I've chosen three so far. Jalaka 2 and Sorry to Bother You.
Oh God, yeah,
and The Wailing.
Okay, yeah, Sorry to Bother You. Yeah, so again, Sorry to Bother You. Oh God, yeah, the fucking giant pony men. Oh my God. But films like just this thing has given me not only an opportunity to just talk to you guys more, which is great, but it's just a lot of fun. But exposure to films I would never ever have watched. So yeah, it's great. Honestly, guys, it's fucking awesome.
Okay, nice one. Thanks. Those are good answers, Andy. How about you, Kyle?
I can't choose mid-90s because that was my film, but that's
the film that I chose. That's my favourite one.
Yeah, Girl Walks Home at Night, or
that
or
one.
Singing in the Rain. But they were both Dave's choice, actually. So.
Yeah,
Oh,
nice.
fuck off. Are you mental?
And how about you, Dave?
Well, I have to say, like, The Wailing and Angelica 2 was two films that I'd have never watched in a million years. So thank you for those. I'm glad I've seen both of those, even though I wasn't bowled over by The Wailing, but I love Angelica 2. Mid-90s is probably my favourite film that we've watched out of everyone.
It is so good.
I can't decide, though. I'm like, it's
that
hard.
episode's like the least popular download-wise as well.
Yeah, I really love that film.
Weird.
What's the most popular, Kyle?
Yeah, it's the Ford versus Ferrari, but that's
yeah.
It's because it's the first one, and people listen to that, and they probably don't listen to anymore because the audio quality was awful on those early episodes.
Dave, that's your favourite mid-90s out of the lot, yeah?
I think so, yeah. Like, yeah, it's a funny one. I mean, we've watched an interesting eclectic array of films, haven't we? I don't think any of these films are like 10 on 10, except maybe Singing in the Rain. That's the only film that's like close to perfect. But the rest are all kind of around 8 out of 10 would be the best you'd give them, I guess. But it's really I feel it's been a nice eclectic mix, yeah.
What about you, Shafi?
You know, I even said it in so the listeners out there, just want to let you guys know that I appeared on another podcast called Schlock and Awe with Lindsay Wilkins, and
I'll put a link in the description.
So in that episode I talked about the two films I chose was Strange Days and
Streets of Fire.
Sorry, yeah. So, but I actually mentioned in Lindsay's podcast that I've actually grown to appreciate Buckaroo Banzai more, because when I first watched it, I kind of kept quiet about how uninterested I was about it. But I kind of just made it out. I just said I can't remember anything. But it's a film that I've actually grown to appreciate more, and I really actually liked it. So yeah, that and also Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. I was always planning to watch that anyway, but thanks to Dave for sort of bringing that in the ether of the podcast.
Yeah, that was an amazing shout.
Hey,
what?
Okay. But how about, so Andy? What are the, just regardless of the films, any particular highlights of the show so far that you would encourage the listeners to sort of listen back if they've not listened to any other episodes?
Yeah, so at the beginning, it was awesome because me and Dave were at loggerheads on everything. And it was almost becoming like, I was like, fucking hell, this is going to be like, this is going to be it. It's like Luke and Darth for the whole bloody thing. Then, funny enough, again, like Luke and Darth, we sort of teamed up and became like...
Who's Luke and who's Darth?
I was always Luke. So it's good. It's just, the banter...
Dave's taller, that's the only reason.
Well, it's not hard. So, that's good. I think if the listeners listen acutely, I cannot believe how smart Shafi is, and your memory is insane. I cannot believe you've got all of this in your head. Like, you must know every producer out there. I don't know how you do it, so that's good. I never knew how much Kyle swore. I knew he swore, but like it's only since recorded, and I listened to Kyle at my desk. I'm like, F this and F that and F that.
It's only the Dune episode and the Bond episode that I'm really on it.
I don't know, man. So I was a bit worried about that. Don't know. That's it. It's just funny. If you want to listen to a funny podcast,
if there was one episode you recommend listeners to check out, what would it be? Blood Simple. Okay, how about you, Kyle? What's the one episode you'd recommend?
Maybe Bond or Dune. I love the Bond episode because we did that quiz and stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was good.
I think the Bond episode, from there on, I think we've hit a stride. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I know this is sort of like we're sort of self-aggrandizing and sort of patting ourselves on the back. But
is that a posh word for wanking?
Yeah, I think that episode was basically where we hit a stride, and I think every episode we've done
until this episode killed it.
Yeah. But, okay, yeah. How about you, Dave? Any particular highlights you want to bring up?
I liked it when we were talking about Quantum Leap a lot. Whatever episode that was,
Yeah,
that was awesome.
That was nice. Yeah,
That was Paris, Texas.
You forced us to cut all the best stuff, Shafi, so I don't know. It's all sort of a bit of a mix mash in my head, I'm afraid. So I can't really remember a particular episode or anything. So I'd recommend. What was? I'd recommend.
Thanks, Dave. Kyle, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I recommend listening to them all and deciding yourself. That'd be my advice.
Okay, great, nice one.
But do listen to them all.
Something that Kyle has sort of arranged is that we've got a YouTube channel, and so for those people that are I don't know, somehow don't use a podcast app but would prefer to use YouTube, we have a YouTube channel where with all our episodes uploaded so far, so check that out. And
check it out.
So I think that's it, everyone. Well, here's to a successful 2022 for Who Dropped the Popcorn.
Man.
Yeah,
as
for everyone.
As I said, Mark O'Hanlon is going to be joining us in the next episode.
Oh, wow.
Where we're going to be talking about Sound of Metal. And then what we're hopefully going to do is try and have a guest on at the end of every round.
Wow.
All
the way up until we get Jean-Claude Van Damme, and then we close it down, and that's the piece de resistance.
Hello, who's this? Hello. Oh, I can just imagine him in that podcast.
That'll be the highlight of my life.
Oh, just quickly, if you listen on Spotify, you can now give a rating on Spotify, not just on Apple. So that's a new feature Spotify have added. So if you like the podcast and you listen on Spotify, give us 5 stars.
Give us a review as well. We want to know, even if you don't like what you hear, tell us why.
Yeah, especially if you don't like it. Just let us know.
Yeah.
We all want to improve ourselves.
Okay, so anyway, thanks for listening. If you want to get in touch with us, please send any questions, comments, praise, hate mail, or one-word reviews to the popcorn postbag at whodropthepopcorn@gmail.com, or follow, harass us on Twitter at whopopcorn or on Instagram at whodropthepopcorn. You can also leave a review on your podcast app, and please remember, like and subscribe. You've been listening to Who Dropped the Popcorn. We really appreciate it. See you soon.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy holidays, Al.
Keep it real.
And because it's Christmas, it's Jesus' birthday, so I'm just going to say to Jesus, it's your birthday, and I want you to have fun. It's your birthday. Da, 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 da. See you later.